I read this topic like 30 times, and each time I thought it said, "Is there a gay scene?" And I was like, where? What are we talking about? I don't know what you're referencing, and I was very confused, and I didn't really understand why the rest of the LesbianCentral girls liked this topic at all. I didn't get it. And then I read it for the 31st time, and I realized that it said, "Is there a gay gene?" And the answer to that is no. Hey ladies, it is Wednesday and it is Jess, and we have two topics this week as per the usual. Our first topic is there a gay gene? And the second topic is, what is the weirdest conversation or comment that you have had after you've come out to someone? And as the resident science nerd on the channel, I figured that I would talk about, is there a gay gene? In short, the answer is no. There is no such thing as a single gay gene, and the best, most intuitive evidence for this comes from twin studies. So twins, identical twins, share 100% of the same DNA. So you would expect both twins to have the same sexual orientation if there was a single gay gene. If one twin had it, the other one would, and they would both be the same sexuality. But there are twins that one is gay and one is straight, and if there was a single gay gene, this couldn't happen. Now, that's not to say there is no genetic influence on sexuality. Who we are, including our sexuality, amongst many other things, is determined in large part by our genes, by our DNA. But it's more likely that a confluence of many factors influence what sexuality we are. I think it's super, super important to make note that genetic influence is very different from genetic determinism. There have been hundreds of studies that have looked at the causes of homosexuality, which incidentally irritates me slightly because when you look at like the causes scientifically, you research the causes for something, usually it has a negative connotation like cancer or why people become violent. So it's slightly irritating to me, but I digress. So genetic influence is not the same as genetic determinism. And what I mean by that is that there's been a lot of studies that have looked at the biology of homosexuality and have found that there are similar markers and alleles that some gay men and gay women share. But just because you have these markers or these alleles does not mean that you are going to be gay. And that's the same as saying that if you, even if you don't have these markers and these alleles that have been found, that you will be straight. You don't become your DNA. If you have DNA markers that predispose you to being tall, to being violent, to being extroverted, to being depressed, to being alcoholic, it does not mean that you become a tall, violent, extroverted, depressed alcoholic. Our environment plays a huge factor in who we become. So just because you have these markers that some gay men and gay women have does not mean that you are going to become a gay man or a gay woman. Just the same as on the flip side, if you do not have these markers that some gay men and some gay women have, that doesn't mean that you are automatically going to become straight either. Genetic influence is not the same thing as genetic determinism, and that's why there is no one single gay gene. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. If you guys think there's a gay gene, if you don't, what you have read, whatever you want. Also leave comments down below about topics for next week. We pick from the comments and from Facebook and Twitter, so do whatever you want there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you. I will see you guys next Wednesday. I hope you guys have a good week in the meantime, and I will see you later. Bye!